Hi, I'm Gayla. After 20 years of climbing the corporate ladder, I took the leap and started my own business to pursue my dream of creating a work-from-anywhere lifestyle. Having the freedom to work from practically anywhere is such a cool feeling. You're in the right place if you're looking for ideas and inspiration to start and grow your own online business. Every week in this podcast, you'll receive practical ideas, hints, tips, and tricks to help you grow your online business where you can leverage your time and you can accomplish more. You too can experience wonderful adventure and freedom as you live life on your own terms. Hi there, and welcome to another episode of The Gayla Scrivener Show. I've been talking with friends and clients about ideas of consistent content, especially since last week's episode. And I do recommend producing a consistent podcast or video. You could do a blog, but I prefer doing podcasts myself and then repurposing that content that I say on this podcast into a blog post. I prefer podcasting over video because I don't want to pretty myself up to be what I deem camera worthy for myself. But I did start a video series for Scrivener Solutions a couple of months ago featuring Accomplish More tips. But most of the time, the camera is focused on what I'm doing on the screen instead of me in front of the camera. It took me a long time to get motivated to get the Accomplish More tips series going. And quite honestly, that habit isn't quite solidified yet. And I still struggle with the whole process. But I like producing it because I want to provide these visual steps to do a process. And I repurpose the content as a blog post by embedding the YouTube video in a blog post on my website. I have the opportunity to share the blog post link from my website as well as the YouTube link out there on social channels. So that gives two different links to provide to the same content, but you can have different posts on different social channels. And since social media is so rapid, you need to publicize the same thing more than once for more people to see it, or they may not click on it till the second or third time that they see it. Now, if you're interested in looking at some of these Accomplish More tips, showing you things like setting up MailChimp account or creating a MailChimp campaign or how to schedule social posts, basically, I'm just answering questions that my clients have on showing them certain things so that they can do that themselves. And instead of doing a video for just that client, I've decided to publish those instructions. And who knows, you may have the same questions. And heck, if you'd like to email me at podcast@gaylascrivener.com with a how-to question that has, you're kind of stuck on something and it's a how-to question on a tech tool that you're using for your online business, if I can help, I'd be happy to. Although I'm getting the Accomplish More tips going, and you can go to scrivenersolutions.com and you would see under the blog roll, you can see that, or subscribe to the YouTube channel for Scrivener Solutions. But my core piece of content is this podcast. This is the one that I am dedicated and have committed to that I will not miss 1 week. I prefer working up the show notes and recording and not have to worry about what I'm wearing, how my hair looks, if it's doing weird things or not, and what the background looks like, or if the dogs are walking around or whatever. And I don't particularly like editing video. I don't mind editing audio. It's a whole lot easier for me. But the video, doing the initial edit of just kind of glossing over that, I don't particularly like. But that's a personal preference on my end. And just a side note here, I don't do every piece of the podcast or video production. Robert has the expertise in getting the final edits and assembly ready for both the podcast and video productions. I also leave it up to Brandy to produce the episode artwork and get them published where they need to get out there on the web. like Libsyn, YouTube, our websites, all those places. And Brandy and Sharon on my team also worry about publicizing through social media and email. I worry about the core piece of content, and we've set up processes to have it dispersed out and published where it needs to be published. But I focus on the message. I focus on the initial editing of, okay, did I really flub up here and I want to edit that out? But I have cut out a ton of steps for myself in this whole process so that I can focus on the message at hand. It wasn't always the case. Many more of the steps, in fact, all of the steps that led up to producing this weekly podcast was all on my shoulders. I chose to do it because I really wanted to see how the process was going to work. That's because I love figuring out processes. That's what I do. That's what I help my clients do. That's what I love, at working out strategy, processes, and creating systems. Now, you may leap into doing podcasts and video right out of the gate when starting your personal brand and building influence in your area of expertise. You may feel comfortable doing it all yourself, or you may seek help through coaching to get you there faster. Either way, that's great. I didn't start podcasting until late 2017. And I wasn't even consistent with it at first, although I was trying to be consistent. Starting is always the hardest because, I don't know what to say. I struggled with the steps. It seemed to take a ton of time that I really didn't have. But see, I started my business in 2012. And it took me 5 years to start this podcast. Now, you may not be ready for starting a podcast or video channel at this very moment because it seems like a huge mountain of work to do. I'd like to share some other ideas that can get you started in the mindset of creating consistent content. If you're getting started and don't even have a website yet, create consistent social posts. I've come across folks that really have a difficult time with that. They don't get into social much. But if you don't have a website, start with committing to a post a day. And you can learn how to schedule those posts so that you're sitting one day a week thinking about what you're going to post for the whole week. Or even if you're sit down for a period of time and plan out your whole month's worth of posts and then schedule them all at once. Then you're in the social media content mode one time a week or one time a month, and then you can do your other things. But then you have set an appointment for yourself to do that process, and you become consistent at it. And be proud that you've got a post a day. Now, which social channel, you might ask? Well, that all depends on you. Now, some will say you go where your customers are. Well, that's very true. That is the place that you should go. And, that's easier said than done sometimes, especially when you're starting out. You may be like me back in 2012, when I first started, when presented with that answer on which social channel, I was told post on the channel where your customers are. The problem, I didn't know where my customers were. Then I got some practical advice from I don't even remember where. The advice was post where you like to hang out. If you like Facebook's platform better, or at least you're in it most of the time checking other people's statuses, then post in Facebook. If you are more businessy and professional in your messages, go to LinkedIn and learn LinkedIn and be consistent there. If you like snapshots and images, Instagram is where you need to be. Lately, the place I like to hang out, I just have fun in Instagram. Instagram for me is just a fun place, so I don't spend too much time on the other platforms. A little secret, just pick one. The one that you pick won't be the wrong answer. If you learn the platform and can hang out there in the space on a consistent basis, you are going to attract folks like you in similar beliefs and similar likes and dislikes. Honestly, your perfect client will be very similar, have very similar qualities that you have. Just hang out where you will feel comfortable, or if you're not even comfortable with social media, you don't like to get in there, just pick one and learn it, because once you learn one, you will be able to scale your messaging in other channels later. The important thing is that this will get you in the habit and the mindset of creating consistent content. Now, maybe you're already doing that, so that's great. You've got that down. Awesome. Now, bump it up a little bit. You could start a weekly Facebook or Instagram live show. Just set up your phone on a tripod and post a show. Set an appointment on your calendar and make sure to be on time for the recording each week. Announce on social and to your friends and family that you're going to be live and what time and what day that's going to be. And you just keep announcing that, and then you just keep showing up. Make it a routine, and your viewership will increase. But it's got to be a routine. Commit to it for long term. Keep it on a consistent basis, not just a few weeks, but have it be your thing, and you'll make traction. Besides, those videos from your Facebook Live can be downloaded and repurposed later. That's a cool thing. Video is a great way for people to get to know you, and you provide value in your messaging. I did some Facebook Lives, early last year, but my habit didn't stick because, quite frankly, I bit off more than I could chew, and I chose to stay focused on this weekly podcast. So here are some other ideas for core pieces of content. A monthly email or e-newsletter. For some of our Scrivener Solutions clients, we write up a short informational article and send it out as a monthly e-newsletter for our client. What they've committed to and are focusing on is making sure that monthly email is sent. They want to keep in touch with their customers and prospects, provide information that is helpful to them, and intermix an announcement of current sales or offers. Their mindset is keeping consistent with that monthly email. They want to make sure that that goes out each and every month. But the cool thing is, we use that short article and repurpose it and use it on their website as a blog post. It's pretty cool. We duplicate that. And then we also publicize it out on social for them. But they're focused. They were stressed out on trying to get consistent content on their website. They couldn't get their head around how to do that, or that it should be a different process than sending an email. But in my mind, it's all interconnected. It's same information in two places, really three when you count sharing the link to the blog article on social. But for many folks, when they're focused on that email, it's like they're talking to one person. And it's not nearly as intimidating than talking to a huge audience of the whole internet as a blog post. Really, when you're creating content, you need to think of one person and just talk to them, and you will be hitting others. But sometimes it's a mental thing. So some of our clients, we do the ghostwriting for them for their article, but they're committed and they want to see that email, and then they just love that it can be repurposed. For them, their motivation and their focus are on the email message. The rest branches out from there. Now, other Scrivener Solutions clients produce a direct mail newsletter. Yes, good old-fashioned, put a stamp on a piece of paper, get something special in your mailbox, direct mail newsletter. It used to be that our mailboxes were stuffed full of magazines, postcards, letters, junk mail, but not so much anymore. Direct mail newsletters have become the new special form of publication. Scrivener Solutions has an attorney and a financial advisor who is dedicated to their direct mail newsletter. Now, there are articles in this newsletter, and there's fun stuff also in the publication. Now, when I first started doing my clients' direct mail newsletters, I even started one for Scrivener Solutions back in, I want to say, 2013. It was early on. And I kept it up for at least 2 years, consistently, each and every month. I was surprised, actually, how many people kept each issue. Crazy. Even some of the online marketers who I follow now are producing direct mail newsletters. Now, I'm looking to start my direct mail newsletter up again. However, I'm only going to be offering it to my online community members. Some of the articles from the direct mail newsletter can be used as a blog post. It can be repurposed and shared over social and even through email. But remember, you can do these things without a website. The cool thing is when you get your website going, you can opt to repurpose these older articles from your direct mail newsletter or even your e-news or Facebook Live posts. You can repurpose them as blog posts as you develop your website. You don't have to think so much. That's the cool thing. It helps build your website. You can trickle out the messages. You don't want to post them all at once, but you can trickle them out as you repurpose those. Just because you've said it in the past doesn't mean you shouldn't publish the message again. It's another medium that you can do. Now, I'm not suggesting that you do all of the things that I've listed. Just pick one. Whatever you pick to do first won't be the wrong answer. Create the habit. Get in the mindset of the importance of consistency. You will not see immediate return. And this is a matter of a long-term game. Now, are you in this for long-term, or are you just tinkering around? For me, the motivation is not wanting to go back to a traditional day job. That's what keeps me going, because I want to be able to grow my own business, and this is for the long haul. This is what I do now. Now, over time, you'll be able to build your processes. Your messages will get clearer and better. You will become more confident and at ease. You will grow your personal brand, your online business. Now, thanks for listening. We are drawing closer and closer to my 100th episode, and in celebration of hitting that episode 100, we are going to do something pretty special and have a special giveaway. Now, the details are still in the works, but if you want to be entered to win this special surprise, here's what you need to do. Subscribe in iTunes. Leave a nice comment. Share the episode on social and make sure you tag me. And email me at podcast@gaylascrivener.com with a quick message saying, subscribe, comment, and share, done. That's it. That's pretty simple, isn't it? I'll be announcing at the beginning of February what that special surprise will be. But until then, if you want to get a jump on being entered to win, go ahead, do it. Subscribe in iTunes, leave a nice little comment, share the episode on social, and be sure to tag me. Then drop me an email at podcast@gaylascrivener.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, have a fantastic week.